Again, welcome to the Startup Club, to the Beauty Tech Pitch Night. I would like to welcome the pitching startups and to the advisory board members and to the general attendees. My name is Mathilde Vadde, and I organize pitch nights, investment conferences, and private investor calls at the Startup Club, matching industry-specific advisors and investors with selected startups. And I specialize on fashion, beauty, and luxury goods, but I am open to connect to startups from other industries as well to help them in their fundraising efforts. So tonight I am happy to introduce 4 up-and-coming beauty tech startups from France, United Kingdom, and Germany. So we will start the evening with the startup MakeMyMask, presented by Julie Pernet, who is in France. It's do-it-yourself Ayurvedic hair masks based on root and plant powders. We will then continue with startup Ethosa, a powderful waterless personal care products tailored to your needs, presented by Gaëlle, Chatelard, and Oliver Ludwig from the UK. Third pitch tonight will be EstSet, an e-commerce platform for professional skincare cosmetics, presented by Roman Panin in Germany. And the fourth one is Noice, the refillable, zero waste and all natural charcoal dental gel subscription, presented by Morgane Soret in France. So I'm really looking forward to listen to the pitches and learn more about these startups. So now I would like to introduce you to the format of the event. Each startup has 5 minutes to pitch, which is followed by 20 minutes feedback and questions from the advisors. You can use the chat to ask questions to the presenters and to network during the event. Now a few words about the Startup Club. The goal of the Startup Club is to help entrepreneurs in their fundraising, development, and growth journey, connecting them with key players in the startup ecosystem. We connect entrepreneurs to investors, advisors, mentors, and different support organizations. We have a global team working together across several different countries and helping us grow in different regions. We are proud to count over 70,000 members in our online network and over 50,000 investor connections around the world. So we host pitch nights and investment conferences focusing on different sectors. And we also offer several other services to startups like valuation services, marketing packages, pitch deck reviews, and custom-made private calls with investors. I would like to invite you to check out our website to learn more about our upcoming events and also about our full list of services. So now I would like to ask the members of the advisory board to shortly introduce themselves. I'm happy to welcome you all tonight. We can start with Leonor. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. So,
hi, Leonor.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Okay, great.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Mathilde, for having me again here. I really enjoy these pitching sessions very much. So I am Leonor. I'm part of the ventures team at Plug and Play. For those who don't know, Plug and Play is one of the most active early stage VC firms in the world. We invest in more than 200 startups per year, early stage worldwide. And we're also an open innovation platform. That means that 500 companies, the world's biggest companies all around the world, trust their innovations activities to us. And we're present in 50 cities. I'm based in Madrid. And I'm in charge of the ventures part, both for investment and for the open innovation programs. And before that, I used to work at L'Oréal in Milan and into 2 tech startups in Paris. So happy to hear all your pitches and do not hesitate to contact me. I'm more than happy to help you in your fundraising as much as I can.
Thank you very much. Hélène, would you like to introduce yourself? Hi, Hélène.
Hi, nice to be there.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Mathilde. So I think my background is initially I was working in large corporation in technology, marketing, sales, management. 5 years ago, I created a company called WeGrowGreenTech with my business partner, Ernest Gonzalez. The goal of this platform was to really look, to work with a ton of startups in the green technology space, from decarbonization, waste industry, advanced material, air pollution, water management. And one angle that I'm really interested in is a more sustainable consumerism, right? Starting to push CPG products that are going to be aligned with a more sustainable lifestyle. So we go from, I work, for example, in bioplastic, better packaging. There's a lot of initiative. I was part of a panel with Nestle. There's a ton of innovation in that space. But it also comes in better ingredients, specifically in the context of beauty. And it's very encouraging to see today quite a few companies like pushing more sustainable product, right? And I think that's the area where we've been looking at in terms of either accompanying the startup to be successful, to go from seeds to Series A and scale successfully, but also in terms of investing, because we have access to a small fund where we do some investment if there is alignment with the technology and the people.
Thank you so much, Hélène.
My pleasure.
Eli, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hi everyone. I'm Eli Jacobson from Israel, Tel Aviv at the moment. I think it's the second time I'm invited by Mathilde to be a part of this event. My background is industrial design. I used to have an office in Milan, Italy for many years. Then I came back to Israel and now I'm inside the innovation space, working with startups, VC, accelerators, innovation labs, most whatever you want. I'm there working mostly, I would like to say mostly with wearables and fashion tech, but this year it's just, exploding innovation, whatever, hardware, robotics, drones, new materials, sustainability, everything. So I do a lot of interesting things.
Thank you. Is Renee with us? Renee Parker? Renee? I think she's joining now.
Hi.
Hello. Hi, Renee. Hi. Welcome.
Thank you.
I guess you were stuck in the waiting room. Oh.
I was stuck in the waiting room.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. Welcome. So we did a small round of introductions of the board members. So would you like to introduce yourself to the audience?
Sure. Yes, I'm Renee Parker. I'm American, but I've lived in the UK now for almost 9 years. And for most of my career, I've been in banking or investing of some kind. But 4.5 years ago, pivoted into beauty. So I spent the last 4 years as the head of luxury beauty for Amazon UK, owning the P&L and strategy and brand development there. And this summer I left. And I now manage a consultancy that I've started, and we help premium brands, the majority, but not all of which are in beauty and personal care. We help them really develop their Amazon and marketplace strategies and deliver kind of specialized execution against that for Amazon, in particular. And I also angel invest and advise startups.
Thank you very much. Welcome again. So great. So thank you for these introductions. Now we can move to the first pitch right away. If you have any questions to the presenters, use the chat to get in touch. And so now, without further delay, I would like to give the floor to Julie Pernet and the startup MakeMyMask. So hi, Julie.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. You can now share your screen and start your pitch.
Thank you. I'm doing it. So. Tell me when it's good. I'm putting it in. Yes. Hey, hi everyone. I'm Julie Pernet, the CEO of MakeMyMask, which is a unique hair care So MakeMyMask is the alliance of a pharmacist, me, and a CFO that I met in my ex-pharmaceutical company where I work for, Gaëlle. So it's all started with a hair loss, my hair loss after giving birth, like a lot of women after giving birth. So we have a hair loss. And I found no conventional offer, not enough effective for me. So I discovered at this time the effectiveness of plant powders putting on the scalp. After 3 months, hair loss was stopped. I was really convinced that plant powders was really effective and scalp was the soil of our hair. So today, maybe you see, no, it's okay. You see my screen? Just to be sure.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So today, the current solution is good. It's called Aromazone. I think French people know that. It's a leader of do-it-yourself cosmetics. It's a provider of raw materials, plant, vegetal, essential oil. It's they won like 80 million euro in 2019. They're really fast growing, but it's reserved for insiders. Because it's when you go on this website, you see 7,000 powders on Aromazone. So which one to choose? If you are not insider, you don't know how to start. So it requests experience and knowledge. It's time consuming because you have more than 15 minutes to reconstitute, and it's not approved because you can have risk of dosages and combination. So we decided to launch a personalized kit to reconstitute quickly hair mask. So through an online hair diagnosis, we select ingredients to reconstitute at home a personalized hair care. It's a fresh care without any preservatives. It's to apply directly on the scalp, and it can be reconstituted into 30 seconds. It's detoxifying your hair scalp from toxic substance. It strengthens your hair and beautifies your hair. It's, of course, eco-responsible. All our packaging are made from glass and carton and wood. It's 100% natural and made in France product. Masks are based on only 4 ingredients and water, and it's to balance your scalp. It's selected via an online diagnosis, which is based on an algorithm which provides 18 typology. How it's working? It's really easy. 3 steps, 30 seconds to get a fresh care. The market is really growing, and natural hair care will represent $54 billion in 2027. Our objective is to become the reference of customized hair detox. The hashtag #ScalpCare on Instagram gathered more than 449 million of tags. And as Elle, the famous magazine said, scalp care is the new skin care. It's really exploding in US. We have 2 business models. The first one, online, it's based on personalization, online diagnosis, and subscription box. The second one, it's pharmacy, retail, with standard box. Our KPIs today are already very promising. In 3 months, we gather 60K visitors. We got the feedback that 50% of clients order again, which proves that clients are really completely satisfied. And we got the Bourse French Tech from BPI mentioning that and specifying that we are a tech and innovative company. Whole is based on our diagnostic that help us to convert quickly our clients. Our year-to-date sales and projection, we will end at 100K, but as you can see, it's only since 4 months that we are investing in communication, meaning that the growth can be really like higher and go very quick. Pharmacy, it's also very interesting because it's the first point of contact for people suffering from hair problems, hair loss, dandruff. 1 patient out of 2 ask for natural solution in pharmacy. It's a business that I know very well because I'm a pharmacist, and also I worked during 10 years as a sales manager of pharmaceuticals sales team. Our vision today is to reach 6 million in 5 years. Today we are in online. We will go on retail 2020, and we will accelerating our online process in also providing new personalized product, customer brush, custom dry shampoo, custom oil, really to create a full routine, complete routine for hair. We will go, of course, on men range. It's really trendy, and a lot of men are problem with hair loss, and they are really like waiting for new solutions and natural solutions. We will also add food supplements and go on skincare. Our P&L today, what I can say is we already self-finance. So it's a responsible growth and an ambitious P&L. Our top line for online business in 5 years will be 3 million. Our growth level will be product investment, algorithms, clinical studies, and subscription offer. Our top line, to reach our top line in retail, it will be based on external sales force and the well-known market. Today, media are already keen on, but most importantly, that our customers are really happy. They are convinced, they are fully satisfied, and they are very, very happy and impressive. In conclusion, customer already won over by a unique product. It's a profitable business supported by a responsible growth, and we have founded a team with proven experience and who work together already in a regulated field during 4 years. And we are also backed by a board of advisors, for example, Milena Piermont, which is the president of French Tech and an investor in a lot of beauty sector, and Xavier Penny and others also who support us in this project. So I'm happy to answer your question now. Thank you for listening. And here you have my contacts.
Great. Thank you so much, Julie, for a great pitch. Leonor, would you like to start?
Yes, of course. So thank you very much, Julie. I think it was a great presentation, very clear. I wanted to learn more about first of all, your business model.
Yes.
And also I had a doubt regarding your product roadmap, and why did you choose to make masks at the first place instead of like natural pills?
On the first steps, like in 2021?
Yes, exactly.
Actually, food supplements, it's like crowded market in Europe. Everybody is providing food supplements. Here, mask, it's like really trendy to have the power on the plant. Actually, it's really, I think it's in and out. Huh? Of course, food supplements, it's interesting, but it's fully crowded. But plant, powder on scalp, it's really, really effective, and it's not crowded. Today, we are the only one who can provide this solution, except the do-it-yourself company. Is it answering the question on that?
So you're first addressing the market with masks because the food supplements is crowded, but then in 3 years' time, you see yourself as a good player in order to tackle the food.
Yeah. Actually, I never thought about food supplements at the beginning, because my insight was that, okay, plant powder are so effective, we should democratize that. Why I talk about food supplements, it's because I want a full routine. So I think it's coming from in and out. So we start by a full out routine, and we can also to have really a full routine inside product. You see?
Okay, yes. I trust the pharmacist in any case.
No, but actually one is working with the other. It has to be, together.
Yes. I'm very fan of this type of solutions. And I don't know if I missed your business model in your
Yes, it's here. So we have the online business, with a subscription and personalized. So actually they go on the website, they do the diagnosis, and after we recommend a cure and they subscribe each month. Today it's not already effective. We are building a new website who will provide that. So today we have a recurring order of 50%, but they have to buy on their self. So we have flow of marketing to push them, but it's really like, okay, so what it will be when we will have the subscription in 1 month.
And then the B2B.
And then the B2B, it will be standard box. So it's 4 box like this. Huh? It means that I put a specific box with the specific problem that you have in pharmacy. It means dandruff, hair loss, fat hair, and the last one is I will see it. Yeah, dandruff. The beauty. Yeah, just to strengthen hair and to make it beautiful, like more light.
Okay. Thank you for answering my questions.
Okay, thank you. Hélène, would you like to be a second one?
Sure. Pleasure to meet you, Julie. Great presentation. I love the fact that you're attacking hair loss with like a natural solution. Quick question. I'm more familiar with different type of sectors in green technology. I think what's critical more and more is the protection of your IP. So in some of the formulation that you have, is there any patent? Is there anything that are looking at you have a very proprietary formula? Or because I think it seems that a lot of it is customization, but you do provide a solution to your end users, right? So is it is there any like patent behind?
There is no patent, but there is a formulation inside in the sachet. So you have 1 sachet, 1 vegetal oil, 1 essential oil. In the sachet, you have a formulation, you have 2 powder mixed. So you don't know exactly the dosage. So it's one thing that, okay, it's more like secrets. And after, it's really like, yes, you can provide in Aromazone the product, but people don't do it because of my barriers that I leverage. It's time consuming to do it on themselves, and you know, it's not pre-dosed. Today, my product is pre-dosed, so I can show you how it's.
Really, yeah, it'll be very interesting in seeing how you want.
So it's something like that. So you have, yes, so it's for the first. The first box is like this. So you have a pot in glass, you know. So you put water here, and after you put the sachet. 10 drops of essential oil and 2 pipettes of vegetal oil. So in the sachet here, you have a mix of 2 powder. So it's going like that, and after you have only the ingredients coming on the recharge, you know.
And when you say it's personalized, is there any type of measurement that's being taken on the hair, and then that's how you assess what you send, or what does it mean exactly?
It means that you answer a different question, and at the end, I select the powder, the vegetal oil, and the essential oil based on your answer. It means that, for example, your objective, at the end, I ask the objective, if is it because you have hair loss, it's just you want to beautify your hair, or you have dandruff. So I ask your question, or you have like, you know, when it's hurting a little bit the scalp. So I ask that, and based on that, I select. So it's an algorithm. It's that the algorithms that select the different ingredients based on your answer. So at the end, today we have 18 typology different, so 18 like cure that I can propose, and that's why it's personalized, because it's always different based on your question.
So that's interesting. The reason why I ask you, Julie, it's because if you're going to be personalizing it, be able to capture a lot of data. And I'm not very familiar with big data in the beauty industry, right? But I'm dealing with that in decarbonization. But I would think there is probably an additional business model that you could build if you start getting a lot of traction with consumers in building a big data play also there.
I have already, you know, my business is really small. I have already gathered 10K database.
This is great. You have a great traction there.
Yeah, because actually all is going through the diagnostic. Actually, it's just amazing. All my channel, digital channel, ad, everything, we go through the diagnosis. I catch all the data. So I know everything about the people. I know the age, I know the type of hair, so I can personalize email, very tiny. So I can say, okay, so you have a tiny hair like this. I can propose this cure for you, or maybe it's winter, you do coloration of hair, it's good that or that. So at the end, when we will add new product, I can propose directly, offer directly to the issue of the people.
Have you ever saw to the big data? Because I don't know what your exit strategy is. You didn't mention in the presentation. I don't know if you want to be potentially balked after that by a larger player. But the concept of having a big data is interesting because I don't know if you're familiar with it, but they're starting to introduce in the medical industry test, like making like an air sample, taking measurement to assess the health of an individual. I'm wondering if you have a play there too, because if you're going to be, if you can manage, right, through something that's personalized, that's addressing a big concern that a lot of people are, right, specifically when you're in Zoom more and more, you want to look your best and so on. If you manage to capitalize on this kind of very large database, that could be some interesting avenue there too.
Yes, sure.
Nothing great. So your exit strategy for this company, what would it be?
Sorry?
The exit strategy for this company, what would it be?
I'm not sure about what you mean by exit strategy.
Well, like when you start, like, right, some people exit strategy is I'm going to build this company in 3 to 5 years to sell to a larger corporation that's already in that space, right? Or you really want to become like, here they call it like a unicorn, right? This huge company that's going to reach $1 billion and so on. So there is like different possible scenarios that you can see.
Actually, let's see how it's going on, you know.
It's a very practical answer, but that's good.
Yeah, it's an opportunity, you know, when we have the opportunity to sell or not, or to go bigger and bigger and bigger. Let's see, you know, what will.
I'm asking you because at some point when you scale, you're gonna have investors that are gonna come, you know, like seed, series, and so on, and that's going to be one of the main questions because that's gonna help them realize, okay, what kind of investment am I making? Is it short-term, mid-term, long-term, and the risk associated with that? So you may want to start thinking, at least for you.
Actually, I think both could be good, and I'm not blocked about both because both can work. So you say that's why it's really, I think, based on opportunities that we can have and how you know, maybe if the VC that we fund wants really, you know, going in a way or the other going in another way, let's see, you know, let's discuss after what we can do. Exactly. But I'm not blocked and I'm not like, I will own my company during all my life. I have so many ideas that I can do and other things today also.
You're probably like more looking into like scaling it until a point. So, and the last thing is, you know, what matters a lot in this type of business model is customer retention. Are you capturing the data at all right now? Like as far as, okay, 50%, that's a pretty good number. Yeah.
Yes, they're all buying again. That's why I told that. Actually, I have really a really amazing feedback, and that I show at the end. People, they send me like, wow, it's amazing how impressive is the efficacy, and they are like, wow, but why we didn't know that it was existing, the plant, the mask from plant. You see my point. So that's why it's okay. It's working, and people you know, still order, and that's why we propose now the subscription.
No, and I think it makes total sense. This number is impressive, 50%, right? It's like it's a good number. So thank you, Julie.
Thank you to you. Thank you for your feedback.
Thank you, Hélène. And then I would ask Renee to give her feedback.
Yes, definitely. Thanks. Yeah, I love this. I'll be a customer soon. I had so much postpartum hair loss with my first one, and now I'm giving birth next month. So now I'm in like the lion manes phase where you have all the great hair right before it all goes to hell again. And I think what's so interesting is that by having this like postpartum in particular entry product, it's like you really hook a customer when they probably have a high willingness to pay and such a high need. And that's such an amazing moment to create this kind of hero SKU and story with great efficacy like you have. Some of the other panelists have already answered some of my questions, but some of the feedback I had is I definitely love the idea of patenting something in here. I think with natural, it's kind of this like a balance between saying, oh, it's so simple, but also there's something really secret and something you can't achieve at home. It's probably my marketplace background. But I am very, as excited as I am about the data, and I think that's super valid. I think a lot about how can you scale, how can you get to 6 million euros in turnover faster. And for me, that's probably, like you said, natural and organic and everything you're doing. It's so many of the top trends right now, not just trends in France or Europe or the UK, but in the US and Middle East and Asia. And it just feels like there's an opportunity here to like get people in this moment, earn their trust, and then expand the range like you have, like you have modeled out here, because obviously at some point you have more kids or your hair comes back and like the need for that product will decline over time. So you may, for that like real hair loss, I mean, there's different sources of causes of hair loss, but for postpartum, that use case is maybe like the lifetime value of that customer is going to end maybe after a year, they're not going to come back. I think in terms of, and someone had mentioned this in the chat as well, I think in terms of the name of the brand, I love the packaging and the look and feel, but in terms of the name of the brand, you might want to think about, is there an opportunity to, like, I feel like some of the story here is missing, like plant, even if it's super efficacious and it feels wonderful and it's beautiful to use, the plant ingredients on my scalp don't tell me yet why I need to buy in maybe to the rest of your brand. Like, why does that mean that? Is it the same ingredients that will also serve from within? Is it the same ingredients that will be great on my skin? So almost like developing what is your unique, think more about the storytelling and like the provenance and teasing some of that story out, and patenting part of it is, does that make sense? So it's kind of like, what's the thread? What's the story that we're telling that will make me buy into the brand beyond this one hero product? But I love the concept of the hero product, because if you can start to get more data where you can say 90% of women love this or that, and get some great retailers, I think that from like a journalistic perspective, or certainly from an Amazon or marketplace perspective, where it's very product driven versus brand, you have an opportunity there to really hook people. But then I would think about fine tuning, like, is this a net-a-porter thing? Like, is this super, like, how natural are you versus luxury? The price point I think is super fair. It's that like aspirational piece. So how much are you natural versus how much are you luxury and then natural? So it feels like the story and the claims around it, as you expand into new hair care categories, could be made a bit more sexy. And what's the hook, I guess, beyond that first hero product is kind of my question. But I'm like dying to, I will buy your product.
Yeah,
I'll need it very soon.
Yeah, well, what I didn't develop, it's really like the scalp, on how active it can be on the scalp. Actually, the hair, it's like a plant. So where do you put water on your plant? You don't put water on the leaf. You put water on the roots. It's like this with our hair, actually. Why we always put things on length? We have to put things on the scalps, if we want to nourish our scalp, it will grow a better hair. So it's all based on that. And it's my slogan, it's la beauté par les racines, beauty through the roots.
Which is amazing. So I think just like teasing that out and making it more visual and more like calling out the specific.
Actually, everything has roots in my product. So you have a little bit roots everywhere. So on the packaging, everywhere. So people, and that's why also the love. I did the reels on Instagram and I like that to explain this parallel with plant, and everybody likes that. 20K people seeing it because they like the parallel between plant and hair.
Yeah, I can imagine. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you to your feedback. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Renee. Eli, would you like to be?
Yeah, I'll do it briefly because I think we don't have much time. First of all, I saw your partner Adele that the products didn't work so much for him. So
yeah, it was not because he didn't try before.
Yeah, so
he missed it.
So next appointment, we want to see him with luscious, huge hair.
We can't grow new hair. It's
maybe.
Existing hair that we can do something with.
Not yet. So I think everybody told you very wise remarks, and I want to continue. I think you need a much stronger rebranding. I think your brand is not strong enough, or it doesn't follow all the things you are telling us, because it seems like a very interesting product, but there are a lot of, exactly similar, but a lot of products, after COVID-19, there was a boom of DIY products and natural products, and all the big companies now are looking into, there's like a 12% growth in all these DIY beauty products in the world. So I definitely think you should think of rebranding. Also your name, MakeMyMask, it doesn't like pop up. The first thing I think is hair. That's your main product.
At the end we call it MMM, actually.
MMM.
Yeah, on the stamp.
Okay, whatever you decide, this is just things that pop up. If I'm thinking of the AI, big data, all the things that come out of our body, hair, nails, teeth, other things, even if we go to the bathroom, sorry, but they're mostly symptoms. Like you said, if I water something is wrong with the plant, so usually there's something wrong also with the soil. So if you start looking into big data, I think you're not in this phase, but maybe later on, if you collaborate some data analysis and you start looking into symptoms, why the hair is like this, and maybe there are other things going on in the body, like, I don't know, itching, rashing. Of course, if somebody is pregnant, she would need a lot of other nutritious things. And so then you can start making very interesting collaborations. You'll have very serious data, which is valuable. That's it. Otherwise, I think you're on the right track. I would go a little into the finance, what it costs you to make, where are you manufacturing, where are the products coming from. If you can just go briefly.
Yeah, it's here. I didn't show the slide. Today we built a short circuit in France because I found the production side, and I decided to work also with the logistics side just beside, and we have also the guy who package in the same. It's all around, and yes, it's my objective to build something like ecological as soon as until I can. Or as far as I can, because when it's scaled up after, we will see what we can do. But the objective is to think, to have something smart in terms of ecology.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you to you.
Okay, thank you so much for the feedback and the questions. So if there are any more questions to Julie, you can use the chat. Actually, Julie, you have some questions in the chat already, so you can look at them. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
bye.
Bye. So now we will move to the next presenter. I would like to introduce you to Gaëlle, Chatelard, and Oliver Ludwig with the startup Ethosa.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm just going to share my screen.
Hello.
All right. Where is this? Can you all see my screen?
Yes, very well.
Very good. So good evening, everyone. We're delighted to be here tonight. So we are Gaëlle and Oli, founders of Ethosa, and Oli has a background in logistics, e-commerce, and consumer and market research. And myself, Gaëlle, I have a background in consumer and market research within the beauty and personal care industry. We founded Ethosa to thoughtfully disrupt the beauty and personal care industry with waterless products that set new standards for sustainability. Our aim is really to revolutionize the way we produce and consume beauty and personal care products. You may wonder why. Well, we have a big problem. The industry is damaging the earth. Actually, at the moment, within personal care products, 80 to 90% of the component is water, which results in very heavy to transport products and rich plastic heavy packaging, but also very high CO2 emissions. And actually, by 2050, there might be more plastic in the oceans than fish. So it's quite alerting. So we came up with a very innovative and unique concept, Ethosa, which is groundbreaking powderful products, which are powder to gel formulas. Not only they're skin friendly, but also planet kind. Actually, we are planning on saving 450,000 kilos of plastic within the next 5 years. And it's also a tailored and DIY concept. But we are not just high performance personal care products. We are also leading a movement which aims at inspiring but also empowering people to create a more eco-resilient future. And how do we do that? So we have created a team of independent industry experts that are publishing content on personal care, packaging, and sustainability, for instance, on our behalf. And this content aims at educating but also providing tips and hacks to people to support them to lead greener lifestyles. Apart from that, we are also ethically engaged. So we are already sponsoring beehives, notably, and we are currently creating our own company Forest. A little bit about the story. So the concept idea was born in 2019. 2020 was the year of the development of our 3 groundbreaking powder to gel body washes formulas and packaging. And 2021 was the soft launch of the brand. And we are looking to launch our D2C website at the beginning of 2022. About the core assortment. So as I mentioned earlier, we offer waterless powder to gel products, and we've developed 2 formats. One, which is a tailored blend your own starter kit, which is to be reconstituted at home. So at the moment, we have the powder to gel body wash, which have been developed in 3 variants. We will be launching the sensitive and dry skins variants in 2022. We're also already working on product number 2, which will be the shampoo. And we developed another format, which is the on-the-go format. So single-use eco sachets that can directly be activated underwater. And here is just an overview of the in-depth competitive assessments that we have run as well for the brand.
Thanks, Gaëlle. Hi, everyone. Again, my name is Oli. I just wanted to give you a quick overview of the approaches we took towards the market, the numbers, and the ambitious plans that we forecast for the next couple of years. In a nutshell, what we see here is we have tons of consumer and market data that prove that the consumers are very curious to learn and being educated when it comes to naturalness, sustainability, eco-friendly concepts, and they're actually expecting different concepts to come up very soon. The waterless approach, as Gaëlle just outlined, is one very efficient solution and answer to these questions, which we adapted in the concepts that we developed. Bringing that together, we just want to explain why the time is absolutely right, and it's quite an urgent topic for us to really enter the market properly. We proved that the market is ready. Consumers are willing to be educated and are waiting for their concepts. Ethosa has developed and owns 3 different formulas already and is developing a few more when it comes to shampoo, in addition to extending the core product range. The first batch of production of the powder to gel shower product is ready, is in stock. And it's now the time to actually secure our position on the market and be one of the first of quite a few upcoming different brands in this segment, and also grow with this market. To give you an understanding how we approach the very ambitious plans that we've outlined, some of you might have already had the chance to look at the slides. Our approach is that through our 3 core markets for the year 2022, we are looking at the relevant age group in each of these markets. We then apply a lot of consumer and market data, as we've shown before, to really be very close to the target audience that we define, which brings us to the numbers in line 2, actually. We then, obviously, we're very well aware that the brand, the concept, the product are completely new, so we would never think to reach all of our relevant target audience. So we go in with quite a low percentage of people that we can actually reach, looking at the digital and e-commerce strategy for year 1. And then also apply quite a low conversion rate when it comes to e-commerce conversion, which is 1.8% in that case, and that leads to the figures that we see in row 4. These are the total, it's the total amount of consumers that we are telling you to be able to reach in the next year. And I think we close with just a roadmap and the next steps that are coming for Ethosa. What we're already doing and what we keep on doing is to raise awareness, educate around the waterless movement itself, but obviously also around the brand Ethosa. Gaëlle already mentioned the network of industry experts and analysts that we created, and that is working on different pieces of content for the community that we are planning to grow. And then for 2022, we are launching the 3 first D2C websites in our core markets, UK, Germany, and France, which will then be rolled out across different European markets throughout the next 4 years, and then an additional market outside Europe in year 5. From a product perspective, we're looking to launch all the different variants for the shower gel that Gaëlle already described, also develop the shampoo. And also, even if the first year, 2022, is really focused on the e-commerce strategy, we're already trying to build a network with selected retailers across our core markets, because we're very well aware that there's quite a long lead time to properly hit the retail market. So we're planning to ramp this up already in 2022 to then enter the market in 2023. With these very ambitious numbers that we've introduced to you on the slides before, we are planning to be able, with the required working capital, that we would invest mainly in production and the execution of the digital and media strategy, which is already in place. We are planning to reach a revenue in D2C of 1.45 million across all 3 markets, and a retail revenue of 81,000, which is pretty low compared to the next couple of years when the partnerships are properly built up. And I think in the appendix that we've put in there you will find a lot more information about our personas, target audience, market sizes, and so on. Also, all the press coverage that we've gathered over the last couple of weeks. And I think that's it. Is there anything more?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much, Gaëlle and Oliver, for a great pitch. I would like to ask Renee to start giving her feedback.
Thank you both. Yeah, this is reminding me of the success we're seeing in the consumer, kind of the home goods arena in terms of waterless. And it feels like there's definitely an early mover advantage to be the ones who conquer this in beauty. My question is around kind of where do you see, is the play for you, I guess it's the consumer brand, it's not the technology itself, right? So what types of protections do you have around the technology? And when other competitors come to market, how kind of differentiated or protected is your waterless technology versus others? Because I guess if we start to see kind of 5, 6 strong competitors come on the market, then it will probably come down to the kind of consumer appeal on the branding side. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And it's actually a very good question, and a bit similar to the pitch we heard before. Actually, we're using just very few absolutely natural ingredients that we cannot protect from a patent perspective. Even more important is it for us to really make a strong market entry and be one of the first movers that are also able to protect this brand. Obviously, from a trademark perspective, we've done all these exercises, but when it comes to the product itself, since it's just natural ingredients and no specific technical process in manufacturing, you can't really protect it by a patent. That's also one of the reasons why the capital we're trying to raise at this early stage is quite high, just to be able to execute it properly and protect the brand, because there, without any doubt, there will be other players which might be bigger than we are for sure.
Got it. Okay, thanks. Yeah, then it feels, and I agree with you, the kind of like speed to market will be super important. And then also from a branding perspective, everything right now is beautiful and it's nice, but I wonder if there are certain areas here you can really juice up to really hook the customer. Is it fragrance? Is it provenance? Like, what about this story kind of beyond the social and environmental impact? I just think, as much as we all want it to be the number one reason somebody buys something, and it will be the number one reason that a niche group of people, a growing niche group of people buy this, these are still like aspirational and emotional products. So is there a way to add some emotion to the branding and the story you're telling? And what other kind of hooks can you draw people in on that make them just want this product? And then secondary, they're like, and I feel really good about my purchase because it's waterless, so I feel like I'm doing something good, but actually I wanted this just based on texture and scent alone.
Yeah,
I think that'll be where you have to stake it in the ground once the rest of your competitors enter.
Yeah, absolutely agreed. I think the key element here is the tailored aspect to the brand. So obviously we developed 3 different formulas targeting different skin needs, one for well-balanced, one for sensitive, and one for dry skin. On top of that, at the moment, we are offering one blend of essential oils, which is made of bergamot, rosemary, and eucalyptus. However, we're planning to bring additional blends through 2022. Therefore, when our customers go onto our website, they will have the possibility to select not only the powder that corresponds to their skin type, but also the fragrance. And therefore, they will really have like a tailored shower gel, like answering the body skin needs, but also like with their preferred scent. So yeah, I think it's one of the key elements of the brand.
I think just to add to this maybe, and obviously we're really trying to find the right balance between the target audience that we mainly have for now, which is the very eco and environmentally friendly consumer, which is interested in these kind of topics, and it will probably resonate with all the content that we publish. At the same time, we want to be in a position where we offer actually a product where consumers like to receive the product, enjoy the brand. So we actually have our boxes ready in place. So it's a very thoughtful consumer experience, and the product themselves, they look amazing, and it should be well in the premium segment of the upcoming waterless trend. So you have your beautiful lifetime refillable aluminum bottle.
Actually, yeah, one comment on the bottle. We've already been nominated for an award as well, as a thoughtful way to avoid plastic.
Exactly, that was the Beyond Plastic Award. So the product itself, the look and feel of the products that you receive is very premium. So it's very thought through, and you will actually enjoy it. It's not just that you know that you're doing something good for the planet, you're also doing something good for you from a skin perspective, but also from a product and value perspective.
Cool. And my last quick comment would be, and I forget if I've missed in here what you want kind of your split to be on, retail versus direct to consumer, but it also feels like it's going to be, at some point there'll be pressure from customers and for all the reasons, the headline risk that every, Target and Amazon and like major retailer will want to be carrying products like this. So it feels like another kind of the way for you to speed things up would be to what core collection can become the go-to, version of this type of product, on the major retailer shelf, and like securing those contracts as soon as you can. Feels like that will be a good way to scale, because maybe there may be one partner at Target for this, and I know the US is not in your first 3 markets, but one partner at Boots, for example. So how do you get there first, and how can you like tie that up with a bow and answer that question for those retailers, because they would probably also love to have a partner like you.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing, Renee. It's a very good point, because we know about the lead times in retail. We're already having these conversations in the UK, for example, with the likes of Holland and Barrett. And basically our aim is by year 2, to have established partnerships with all the 3 biggest relevant retailers for us, which would be Holland & Barrett in the UK, Space & K, DM, Rossmann Müller in Germany, for example. And this is going to ramp up over the next couple of years, so that retail actually will drive a lot more revenue than D2C itself. However, we know about the lead times, so that's why we did not really forecast big revenue in year 1 on that.
Yeah, it sounds good to start the conversations with them now.
Maybe just the last point, because you mentioned the product range, we have decided that the product range for retailers will be limited compared to the D2C product range. So for retail, you would be able to order your starter kits and the refills, but then different accessories plus bundles and so on, you would only be able to order online.
Core.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Renee. Hélène, would you like to continue feedback?
Yes, I'm very excited by what you two are doing. It's exactly in line with what we've been supporting, doing. So I have quite a few questions for you, hopefully useful. So I love your approach, right? The fact that you're looking at waterless. I've been working on bioplastic packaging, but the less packaging, the better, really. And I'm really aligned with what you're pushing here. And I think congratulations to you too for driving such a wonderful company.
Thank you.
Quick thing though, that's based on my experience because I work with a lot of companies in that space. I'm currently working with a platform, a marketplace for Amazon. So I will have to agree with what Renee has said. As much as we love it to be sustainability, price, at least for Amazon, is still what's driving consumerism. In terms of so I think your product is great, right? My experience with retailer, working with retailer for the companies similar to you, is that there's a lot of loop that need to happen, right? In terms of pricing, like your margin is much lower. The rate of adoption, it takes years to go into any type of large corporation. So I like the fact that you're exploring different avenues in parallel. E-commerce during the pandemic, Amazon has been really booming. What's your strategy for Amazon? Because I can see based on, so we've done a lot of study, regarding consumerism on Amazon, looking at the different category of buyer, different generation, what's the driving force, older generation, typically pricing, but interestingly, innovation, people go to Amazon to find innovative product, right? And typically when you have a ton of innovation and a conscientious product like yours, you can actually really quickly build a very large amount of followers on Amazon. So I was wondering, can you share a little more as far as, have you been looking specifically for Amazon? What would be your strategy there?
So for now, for the first year, we're not looking at online marketplaces. So my background, the last year I've been working for the Hut Group, if that rings a bell, for example. So the likes of Look Fantastic are owned by the Hut Group, for everyone who's not familiar with that, which is the biggest beauty retailer in the world actually by now. So there are definitely pros and cons when it comes to online marketplaces. And it's definitely interesting to hear that actually there might be a relevant audience for us even on Amazon, because I did not think so. However, we've actually developed a very thorough digital e-commerce strategy for now, which is focused on driving traffic to our 3 websites for now. But we're definitely open, depending on, I think, what we might also add in terms of details is obviously we're looking for an investment, but we're also looking for partners to grow with us and to give us input like that, for example, and just hints to consider different avenues to take that we're not thinking of at the moment.
And I totally agree with you, right? It's about diversification. I love the fact that you start small and then you scale. I mean, you go with, like Europe is way more advanced in terms of conscientiousness toward environment that places in the US, right? That's going to take a few years to come to that same level. So everything you're doing here makes a ton of sense. Maybe we can have an offline conversation after, because I think there's probably things that we could do based on some of the connection that I built and the work that we've done with WeGrowGreenTech that could be helpful, because I think it's aligned with some of the work we're doing in terms of building sustainability in consumerism. And there's more and more organizations. So, in mid to long term, like if you look, for example, South Korea is also very interesting for conscientious CPG. And I
Yeah.
think if you they're looking at innovation from Europe, so I think once you kind of really build a strong base, I think you have a lot of options worldwide that could be interesting.
Yep,
Yeah,
sounds
of
great.
course.
I think
Yeah.
we're
And
happy.
the other thing to the question that I have is, so there's been more and more innovation in that space, like using a waterless product. If you look, for example, the question that I have, which I've seen for some product that I really like, but I've seen a limited adoption because consumers, they tried, but it was not either as convenient or the quality was not there. For example, shampoo in a bar, right? You're starting to see it being more and more adopted, but it's still very slow.
Yeah.
Have you looked, and I think that was what initially was Renee was asking, right? Have you looked, have you been getting any customer feedback of these are like the quality, like the adoption?
Yeah, so first of all, we spent a long time researching and developing the products, and I myself worked with a laboratory to handpick every single ingredient that went into the formula. And after that, we conducted a beta testing session with various users across different markets, and the feedback has been really positive. And actually, that's something that came across because, of course, a lot of sustainable products are not necessarily efficient, and a lot of consumers are associating sustainable beauty product with non-efficiency. But on the contrary, we made sure to have like the most efficient product possible, which also respects like the pH of the skin and which offers a very nice sensorial experience as well in the shower and also while reconstituting the product itself.
So you may want to put more emphasis on the science too, because I think as we're moving forward in this decade, there's so many solutions that are going to appear on the market.
Sorry, Hélène.
Sorry, we can talk.
Yes,
thank you.
It's a little bit short of time. Maybe you can have a discussion.
For sure.
Yeah.
So congratulations and pleasure to meet you.
Thanks, Hélène.
Nice to meet you too.
Okay, I would like to ask Eli for the feedback.
Yes, thank you. So first of all, you two seem very serious and very impressive. Seems like you're working great together and you've done your homework, and it's, you know, I enjoy seeing it. I'm saying it for the good and for the bad. For the good, it's really good that you two are talking and presented the product, but I think the presentation has way too much information. It took you a while to get to the product, and I think the product is the main thing. So just think it out, you know, if you have 5 minutes to present, think what you want to present and write down. You two like are certainly the impressive thing. So now, because you have serious, we have some serious things to discuss. So waterless products are definitely very trendy right now. I think all or most of the companies are looking into it. I think, I don't think, but L'Oreal, Procter & Gamble, I think next year already 20% of the products will be waterless. The products that can be waterless will be, and there are already brands, big brands, Baudi, New Mighty, Ethic, Vapor, Lolly. There's a list that they're using. So my first question would be, how will you find your space into these things? The second thing, you're talking a lot about sustainability. So of course the waterless sounds sustainable, but how deep do you go in your sustainability? I mean, do you know where your ingredients are coming from, how they are grown, how they are harvested, if there's oils or things like that? Because I just researched some companies, you know, everybody's saying I'm sustainable, but when you look deeper, like, you know, products, you don't know where they're coming from, how they are grown, and a lot of waste and things that are not sustainable productions are happening like behind the curtains. The last thing, I would go to a bit to your economics, because you said next year you want to reach almost 2 million in sales.
1.5.
1.5 and another 3 or another 2. No, it was 1.5. Sorry.
1.5. Yeah.
So I didn't exactly how you expect. I didn't understand exactly how you expect to reach these numbers. And did you raise? How much are you looking for? Who invested you till now? A lot of questions. Sorry, just serious people. So I have to ask you serious questions.
So I'll take the question about the ingredients, packaging, and whole sustainability. So we looked at this very closely. So for the ingredients we have selected, actually, our main formula only contains 6 ingredients, and all of the ingredients have a very nice story. So they either respect certain certifications such as EcoCert or Cosmos Natural, Cosmos Organic, and they are also, for some of them, upcycled. For example, our hero ingredient is upcycled from the tea industry. So we really made sure to, again, handpick these ingredients and make sure that they are as sustainable as possible. For the packaging, so we are working with an aluminum refillable bottle, which can last a lifetime. We have a paper sachet for the powder, which is completely recyclable. And we are also working with plastic met PP for our liquids. The reason why we are using some plastic is only because the packaging industry is not ready to package liquids within other materials. So we explored, obviously, glass. However, we were concerned that some consumers, or that it might fall in the hand of children, and we might have accidents there. So we avoided using glass, and we went for the MET PP, which is also recyclable, and it's considered as one of the safest plastics. Again, on that aspect, so one of our tagline is, while we're not 100% perfect, we are 100% transparent. So we are in this process of educating consumers and in being like totally transparent when it comes towards our ingredients and our packaging. And on our website, you will also find like all the definitions of the ingredients with the benefits, where they're coming from, etc. Same for the packaging, and also explanation on how to dispose of the packaging, because we know that the actual act of recycling can also be an issue for consumers, especially when it comes to beauty products.
I'm convinced. Let's move on to the other questions. Thank you.
Shame, we have more to add.
No, I just want to hear, especially about the competitors, competition, what's going on in the world, how, like, I don't know, either you need a lot of money for marketing, or what's your...
Exactly. Yeah, that's all somehow interlinked, obviously. So as we already said, we are planning to enter the market properly, because we know that the demand is there and the potential is there. That's why our plans are definitely super ambitious. I agree with you. Forecasting revenue of 1.5 million is definitely a statement. Obviously, that's considering 3 different markets. And also, you're answering your question, how much money we are planning to raise for that 1.2 million. That mainly would go into production, product development, but then the biggest part of that is for the execution of the digital and media strategy overall. So we are very well aware, especially as a new brand without awareness and a new concept and product, there's a lot of work to do, especially when it comes about educating in terms of the concept of product before we can actually start converting. That's why a lot of money, the biggest part, goes into media and the budget. But that, as we also already discussed with Renee a bit, is all part of actually finding our space in the market, securing it and protecting it when other players come to market. The other aspect to that, obviously, is the product quality that we touched on briefly. We know the product is good. We had amazing feedback, and one piece of feedback was just that there's a lot of different concepts on the market already. But what we created, or mainly Gaëlle, to be honest, it's her work that went into before I joined. It's the first shower gel, the first powder shower gel, sustainable shower gel that people tried that actually foams nicely and works as a proper shower gel. So we are absolutely convinced of the product, the quality, and the strategy that we've developed behind. Also, I think what we need to highlight...
Sorry for interrupting. You're convinced because you got feedbacks from your crowdfunding campaign or something, or you're just convinced because you believe in it?
No, as Gaëlle said, we share quite a few samples with different people across our target audience, but also outside, journalists, different people. As we said, we also have an active network of analysts and industry experts that we work together with. Obviously, we ask their feedback as well. Parts of them help developing the formula as well. personal care, skincare analysts. And I think that that's just one example of, even if we really appreciate that you like how we apparently work good together, we know our limits and we work together with a lot of external experts when it comes to branding, strategy, designs. That's not just our work, obviously.
Who is backing you up now? It's a lot of work, a lot of time. Who?
Financially?
Yeah.
We're at the very beginning of our journey. So we're just starting to raise funds.
And we are self-financed so far. Yeah.
Okay.
And just one additional comment on the competitors. So actually, while we were building the digital strategy, we found that brands such as Milli and CC, which also offers powdered shower products, they are mainly relying on organic traffic, and they are not really present when it comes to advertising online. So we also strongly believe that we can really become a voice of authority by investing in the right way into our digital strategy, which we spent a lot of time with some experts.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Eli.
Thank you. Leonor, would you like to shortly give your feedback?
Yeah, of course. So I think all the questions were asked and answered. I just wanted to say that I really love the problem that you're tackling and you're solving. I think it's so silly and inefficient the way that we're just throwing water and plastic. So congrats for that. Also, coming back to Renee's point, I think that these type of companies need to become a love brand in order to be successful. Mm-hmm. So, because as soon as more brands tackle the market or this problem, or big players start to deploying similar solutions, you have to have more than a strong image and more than the strong and speed to market in order to survive. Also, I agree 100% on being a digital native brand since the beginning, but I really like the idea of going to premium spaces, either gyms or hotels, for instance, in order to attract the market and also the type of market that is willing to pay for your products, because they're like the cost, the price is higher than what they're usually used to. So, and well, I think that we don't have time for questions, but do not hesitate to contact me, and I would like to continue with the conversation.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. So yeah, after this great presentation, we'll move to the next presentation. I would like to introduce you to Roman Panin, who will be pitching for company EstSet. So hi, Roman. How are you?
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you. You can share your screen, or you will. Do you have a presentation?
Yes, just a second.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, super. So thank you so much, and good evening to everyone. My name is Roman Panin. I'm one of the founders of EstSet platform. So comparing to the previous speakers, we rather represent solutions for beauty industry and beauty tech. So this is the platform that enables a selling of skincare cosmetics through aesthetic practitioners and aesthetic professionals. And the main concept came from my wife. She is a professional esthetician, and actually we rely on her like daily feedback and the knowledge of the industry. And the name of the platform actually reflects the main concept. So est means aesthetic and set means box. So which problem do we solve? We know that
could you make it a full screen? That would be better.
Okay, this one, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Okay, skincare cosmetics is highly consulting intensive product. That means that end customers, they need guidance, or they need someone who can explain or who can recommend what they have to use or what have to apply. From the other side, cosmeticians, they need a tool that enables a scalable, convenient, and profitable recommendation or profitable promotion of skincare cosmetics. And we also realized that average cosmetician is already a very influential opinion leader, having hundreds and thousands already loyal and friendly customers in surrounding, so following them in social media. And we decided to create win-win solution where manufacturers of skincare cosmetics, they can promote their cosmetics through personal sales channel. Cosmeticians, they can get additional money and they can scale up their promotional activity and leverage on their social media and connection to the end customers. And the end customers, in turn, they can get customized beauty box or beauty skincare routine from the opinion leaders they know in person, from the trusted persons. So how does it work technically? So pretty simple. So cosmeticians, they can upload or they can pick up different items from the uploaded products, and they can create different types of skincare regimen, for example, winter care or preparation for summer season or chemical peeling or different other applications and combinations. After that, they can add different types of unique manuals and instruction, and then they share it using their social media. And once the end consumers click on it, we manage the logistics stuff. Actually, our functionality, what do? We provide the user interface. So we bring all of them together and we optimize the process of creation of this beauty box. Then we integrate all the necessary social media channels. And once the end customers buy and pay for these beauty boxes, we pay commission fee and we manage all the rest. We package, we bundle, we label, we deliver, we process payment, and so on and so forth. So a part of the commercial side, we also have very influential impact because we reduce the packaging materials, because we put several items in one box, and we optimize the supply chain because we use direct drop shipping solution. So traction. So we have started in 2020, and in August we have launched, in August 2021, we launched the first digital prototype in 3 languages, in German, in Russian, in English. So we acquired more than 70 suppliers and more than 300 cosmeticians who are interested to test it. And we plan with the sufficient funds to launch by the end of the first quarter of 2022, the full digital version, and by May, logistic infrastructure of our platform. So here you can see the map of our customers, mostly from Europe, but also some players from United States. Here is the abstract from the customers' feedback from cosmeticians and from suppliers, as well as our event activity. The business model, so it's traditional freemium model for the end customers, even though we get the majority of our income from the margin between retail and wholesale price. And later on, we can introduce slightly a subscription fee for cosmeticians and for suppliers. Here you can see the typical business case where average cosmetician, they can earn a couple of thousands euros using their customers network and database. The market, it's really huge and growing, so billion market. But in terms of our direct customers, I mean cosmeticians, only in Germany there are about 100K cosmeticians. In Russia, 2 times more. So existing sales channels, of course, online retailers and e-tailers, they have the best coverage and they have the best reach. but they rather focus on products than on personal connection and personal touch. And the traditional way of distribution is just in-house, in clinic recommendation, but is very low scalable. So go-to-market strategy, we know very well how to market our product and our solution. And instead of mass marketing, like burning down the big mass marketing budgets, we would like to apply viral marketing. So existing customers, for example, acquired supplier, they usually bring their friendly existing cosmeticians, and cosmeticians in turn, they bring the end customers. So, and we also would like to employ Instagram promotion. So financial plan and the main KPIs. So we plan to achieve up to 5,000 purchases by the end of the first operating year, with 1,000 active cosmeticians and 200 suppliers, and more than 800K annual revenue. So the team consists of professional in business and tech software development, as well as like practicing experts in aesthetic industry, as well as design, graphic, and marketing experts. So thank you so much. Here you see the contact details.
Thank you so much, Roman. Thank you. Eli, would you like to start the feedback and questions?
Yeah, I have some questions. I didn't quite understand how the system works, but I do know like the YouTube or Instagram influencers, Jeffree Stars, Michelle Phan, James Charlotte, Jackie Allen. They all have millions of followers. Like, is this a platform that they could use, or if a company like we heard before, like Ethosa, they have the products, they want to use your platform. Can you walk me like step by step? How does it work?
So for example, for Ethosa, they can attract the professional practitioners, cosmeticians, aesthetic nurses, aesthetic doctors, and so on and so forth. And that is the main differentiating concept for us, because you can find like hundreds of Instagram or YouTube influencers, but they are not practicing experts, and they don't have personal touch.
Why they are not experts or have personal touch? They do. I think that's their value, that they are experts and they use these products and they recommend them. So,
but it's just like tens or dozens of people. We talk about cosmeticians living and working in your neighborhood, and they're very local, and they have relationships like the relationships between dentist and patient. And once your dentist advises you something,
so if I understand, so you're like connecting the small businesses, like the personal pharmacist or whatever skincare that knows you personally.
Yeah, exactly.
Through your platform, he can recommend you about products. And from the other side, you have the product, new brands that want to enter the market, and they can suggest their products.
Exactly, and in our opinion, such specialists, they have much closer ties and much closer and reliable connection to the end customer than Instagram celebrities, for example. Yes, of course, celebrities, they have much better coverage and much better reach, but relationships is not so tight and not so personal.
Okay. I understand. I'm just wondering how like the personal pharmacist or whoever that knows me can stay. Is he loyal to me, or is he loyal to a new brand that offers him, to earn money in a different way that he does it? How can you really know? No, I understand. I mean, beauty pattern, but how can you really know the products that you're offering him without testing it and still offer it to me, if he doesn't carry it till today in his beauty pattern?
Beauticians and aesthetic professionals, they know what to do because they have hands-on experience and they have education, and they know these customers in person, and they can actually customize different types of application. For example, winter care, preparation for summer season. So EstSet for women 50 plus, or for smokers, or for dark skin, or for wet skin, or for like after chemical peeling and so on. Like groups of, let's say, category beauty boxes or skincare.
Yeah, I understand. I didn't understand before, so now I'm starting to have a clear image, and I'm thinking about it. It's, if I understand, it's more, I don't know, if I would say it's like you want to be the Stitch Fix of beauty products, and they have a personal shopper and boxes that you get each month based on your personal profile or social performance. And if you're talking about more or less something like this to beauty.
Yes, it's the kind of reference marketing tool, but this reference marketing is done by professionals, like who know actually what they do, and they know the complication, they know the side effects, they know different types of skincare routine. They can recommend.
Do you have some sort of AI behind it?
Not yet, but it's possible. Technically, it's possible. For example, we can optimize the process of creation of these beauty boxes to optimize the time for cosmetician. For example, they can, like originally manufacturers, they can upload their product items, like tagging them. For example, this is oil for wrinkles or against wrinkles. This is caviar against fat or fat skin. This is for cosmetics for senior users, and so on and so forth. This is for dark skin. And once we have all this data, we can offer cosmetician the optimized workflow, so they can just pick up the free offered like items for moisturizing or for cleansing or for smoothing and so on.
Yeah, so I agree. Okay, so I think definitely this is what you're missing right now: the data, the intelligent decision, machine learning, all this.
So technically,
if you will have possible. This, you will have a great product, because you have to learn what your audience wants and needs, and once you will have that data, I think you'll be a strong
and cosmeticians, they are pretty lazy. And they don't want to invest a lot of time.
Everybody's lazy, more or less, but we all are. But thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for your feedback.
You, thank you. Hélène, would you like to give your feedback?
Sure. Pleasure to meet you, Roman. So I was like you. I was like Eli. I was trying to figure out the advantage of your platform, because there's so many of these platforms existing today. I like the fact that you basically built your platform on trust, which I think is harder and harder to get these days, right? Because there's so much innovation, so many products. So I like the fact that you're capitalizing on going through somebody that has the expertise to recommend product. But I have the same concern as Eli, is how do you make differentiation in a very crowded space, right? The concept of building platform, a lot of people are doing it. So do you have any, like, in terms of strategy, as far as how would you build your platform to, as Eli mentioned, get enough data, enough size, so that you become to own the market?
So our approach is the knowledge of industry. And instead of focusing, for example, I agree to you, you're right. There are a lot of platforms. But in the most cases, there are platforms focusing on products. And as you mentioned, there are huge variety and huge assortment of products. But nobody knows, like in the case of end customers, which product they actually need and which product suit them at best. And they need guidance. And there are not so many, and rather to say few platforms focusing on like guidance or on the personal touch. For example, one of the strongest, not competitors, but let's say the guys doing the same is in United Kingdom, is Get Harley. And they employ the same principle. They bring together aesthetic professionals with the end customers. And they create also specialized skincare routine. And it's based on relationships rather on product, because there are tens, thousands of brands, and it's completely impossible to differentiate based on products. For example, the guys before me, they have very unique concept like waterless or rare concept. But even in this case, it would be super difficult for them to stand out of the crowd and to deliver their idea and to deliver their unique features and so on. We rely on the already established relationships of opinion leaders and their practicing opinion leaders.
No, and on that, I totally agree. I think it's really strategic and tactical, right? Because you go through people that have the knowledge, people are going to trust. But the challenge is still the same, because your concept is clever, but is there a specific IP in the platform? Is there, right? Because it could be, it's how do you protect what you built from somebody building the exact same system, having a lot of money so they can accelerate all this building and environment connection and so on. So that's a concern that I have. And the idea, I totally understand, and I think I totally align with what you're trying to do. But it's like
I think the only,
competition?
Okay, thank you for your comment. I think the only thing that we can protect in terms of intellectual property is, let's say, algorithm or artificial tool that stands behind. But the real protection, in our opinion, is our speed and our go-to-market strategy. Because at first we know this market very well, and we know how to market it at events, at trade fairs, and we have very good relationships and knowledge of the industry. And we would like to employ viral marketing, like existing customer, if they get money with us, if they can earn money with us, they can share and spread the word. And the fastest will win, in our opinion.
So I would think with your strategy, you're probably going to need a large marketing budget. Are you also planning maybe to use an influencer that we align with? I don't know in Europe, right? But I think in the US, is key people that are between like being doctors and promoting product and so on. Is it part of your strategy for the?
Yes, of course, because we would like to employ and attract like the most respected aesthetic doctors, having very good reach to professional community. For example, average cosmetician in Russia or in Europe, she or he has like hundreds or thousands subscribers. But let's say active social media active aesthetic doctors, they might have up to tens or even hundreds subscribers, and the very majority of their followers, they are professional users. This community is very well interconnected, and once you choose the right ambassador, so you can spread the word quite quickly.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, finding the right people. But I think, so in terms of funding, right, you're probably going to be looking at most of it being in your marketing budget, I would think, right?
Not exactly if we talk about the numbers. So I think we have three main directions where we would like to invest the money. The first one is development, because we still have to create the full-fledged version. Digital and logistic one. The second part, you are right, will be marketing, but in this case, we would like to avoid the mass marketing budget focused on the end customer. And the third part is stocks, because in this case, we have to ensure the sufficient minimum stocks, like to deliver it in proper short period of time, and to have the minimum stocks to bundle it, to package it, to label it quite quickly.
I see. Well, thank you. I have no more questions.
So thank you so much.
Thank you, Hélène. Renee, do you have some questions?
Sure, thanks. Yeah, I would say the only kind of comments I have in addition to the ones that have been asked is just, I think you're coming from this at very much a perspective of the therapists and the dermatologists and the specialists, which I completely understand. But I think at the end of the day, I mean, obviously it's kind of a marketplace model where you're going to need lots of these experts who are posting products. So it's great to have like their use case and needs fully understood in a way that appeals to them. You're solving their problems. But then from the customer perspective itself, I mean, I would probably challenge, rightly or wrongly, I mean, customers have real emotional and, you know, affinities to influencers. I say wrongly because they're not dermatologists, but that doesn't mean that consumers don't, you know, these people they find on YouTube and other influencers, doesn't mean that they don't listen to them or rely on them as educators for products. So I guess I would just say kind of make sure as you're kind of designing this further that you're really keeping that end customer mindset in mind there. And then I guess the second piece would be, I definitely can see the issue around education, and that this could be, you know, one of your kind of USPs could be that you really provide this education for customers beyond just kind of here's a list of products or here's a routine. It's like really, really educated professional. That said, I don't know what then would keep a customer to replenish from your service. That's when they might hop over to, you know, the next laziest or most convenient platform. And so just how are you going to keep them? How are you going to retain customers? That would be the last bit. And then the other piece would be kind of like when I was thinking, so sometimes we also have an issue, right, where the beauty therapists don't, like the person who's cutting your hair, for example, and it's not exactly what we're talking about, but to expand it further, may not be a natural salesperson. So it's like, how are you allowing the dermatologists and specialists to monetize their expertise? But one interesting thing that I'm seeing, and you could see more of, is almost like plugins, which, so could you pivot a way to be more B2B. So for example, let's say I book a treatment with a specialist on Treatwell or some other type of booking platform. And then I receive via a plugin from your service an email that asks me to rate my treatment, but also says these are the products that were used on you and these are the notes from the therapist, for example. So I guess I question whether to solve the issue, to solve the problem that you're trying to solve, is actually a full blown out platform start to finish the right solution, or are there kind of more like fine-tuned ways to play a more unique role in that? Just because, as some of the other panelists have said, just generally speaking, there's so many people coming at this from data, from not just skin care or not just dermatologists, they're like all influencers. So I think it's going to be quite competitive in that you'll have to really understand your value and where you're delivering on that value. That makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of information, but I will start with the...
I had too much time to think with everyone's question.
with the issue how to retain customers. The problem and the issue all the panelists talking about, you are discussing the view of the end customer. Yeah. But we solve the problem of cosmeticians and estheticians, and they have completely different problem angle, because they don't need to retain customers, because the majority, let's say, of the cosmeticians living and working in the neighborhood, and the majority of the followers, they are already retained and acquired. They are already loyal, and that's why they follow them on the daily basis, and they look for and they monitor what they post, and they trust them and they believe them.
But you as a company make money with the transactions of products going through, right?
Yes, but also the cosmetician, for example, how do they get their money? And it will be the second part of your question. So cosmetician, so for example, there is the average price of beauty box, 100 euro, and we pay commission fee. So from 18% for each purchase. So average cosmetician gets 50 euro from one purchase. And once you have, let's say, 2,500 followers, it's very likely that at least 100 of them, they will follow you and will buy your beauty boxes, or one beauty box or different types of beauty boxes that you as cosmetician created. That's the thing. And we don't compete in the red ocean of the end customers. That's the thing. And we would like to optimize the real workflow of cosmeticians and to provide and to offer them optimization solution or optimization tool. It's like, to give you analog, for example, they can sell your products like one-to-one in the clinic, or they can use delivery service. And we are the kind of delivery service for them, but with expanded functionality. Like we can deliver their pizza once we provide the access to their existing customers base, which they already have in their social media, on Instagram, on Facebook.
This part I get. I'm just saying, once the end customer has kind of like sucked all the value out of that, which is, okay, I had a great treatment from somebody I trust. Somebody I trust gave me very specific product recommendations, help me discover the products, help me understand how to use them. It's just, what incentive does that, what do I then as the customer, what incentive do I have to come back? I mean, I'm loyal to this person maybe for treatments, but if I want to replenish one serum, I might just buy it on Amazon Prime.
Because you leave, and once you run out of your beauty box, you will need to replenish it, because you come to this beautician and again and again. And if you see,
yeah, but I'm saying that I guess I challenge whether the average customer is going to be that loyal on product replenishment, which is, as I understand your business model, where everybody makes money, if they will really continue to replenish products there.
So technically, it could be easily done. Like we can create the interface when they just click the previous order on the previous orders, and it's done. Mm-hmm. And personally and relation-wise, they already have established relationships. For example, when your dentist recommends you to follow some advices or some recommendations, so it's very likely that you will do it, because that's why you came to your doctor, to your dentist. Yeah. And skincare treatment is very similar field.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now it would be Leonor's turn, but I believe you have already met at the previous session. So maybe just
I met them. I really met them. So I just wanted to make a quick comment, just in order to make sure that we're on time. Again, it's that I think that we always have the same problem with EstSet, is that we don't get from the presentation that it's a B2B2C, so that your customer are the cosmeticians. So I think that maybe there's a problem in the presentation and the way of pitching, and immediately we think, okay, it's another subscription box. So I think that that should be something to think about, and try to change the pitch, change the presentation in order to clarify from the beginning that you don't really care about the end customer. You want to provide the necessary tools for your cosmeticians to have another source of revenue, and that nobody's going to EstSet.com. Everybody, maybe they will go through their Instagram account, their bio link, and they will find just a landing with the recommendations of their of the cosmeticians. And the question should be more about the logistics, or why, and I think that one of your competitors here would be if Sephora made these partnerships, which is a platform that already has a lot of products and a lot of and a strong logistics behind. So that would be my question. What are your barriers to entry for what's your value proposition against a Sephora for these cosmeticians?
So again, as I said, first of all, thank you so much for your observation. Perhaps we should avoid this confusing B2B2C and focus on B2B, like saying that we offer a tool for cosmetician for their professional use. But in fact, the end customer pays. That's why we added B2B2C. And answering the second part of your question, like what can we propose comparing to Sephora or comparing to, let's say, Look Fantastic or Flaconi or the other big specialized platforms or online retailers. So we have one very important differentiating factor, and namely, all of these big competitors, they focus on products and they focus on the end customer. And it's very difficult for the end customer like to navigate this system because nobody knows what cosmetics they really need, and they usually judge on their previous experience. Or
they have a pool of influencers that can recommend and can create boxes.
You are right, but the end customers, they don't know them in person. That's the differentiation thing.
Okay, yeah, no, I understand.
So for example,
you
can follow Kim Kardashian, but if you have your local dentist or your local dermatologist, you have completely different level of trust and proximity, like, because for example, you can give them a call and ask, okay, how to better use this beauty box and so on and so forth.
No,
you cannot call to Kim Kardashian.
No, you're right. I think I got it. I know what you do, and I think that maybe you should just rethink the presentation.
Hey, got it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Roman. And
I will be glad to get in touch. You can see my pitch and contact details.
Of course, I would be happy to check it.
Thank you, Leonor. All right, now we are running a bit late, but we have a fourth pitch to listen to this evening. So I would like to give the word to Morgane Soret, who will be pitching for Noice. So Morgane, hello. You can share your screen and you can start now.
Right into it. Thank you so much for having me tonight. Congratulations to the other startups, looking very great. And so I'm Morgane. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Noice. And before we start, I have a few questions to ask you. But the first one is, do you really know what is in your toothpaste? The usual answer to that is not sure, right? And that's why we created Noice, and we have nothing to hide with a whole natural formula, as you can. And did you know that there is 1.5 billion of plastic toothpaste tube and in the landfill yearly? That's a huge amount because toothpaste tubes are simply not recyclable. That's why we made Noice refillable and zero waste. And finally, for the one that I've tried already, the existing natural or zero waste toothpaste on the market, did you find the taste very fresh? The usual answer to that is not really. And so this is why we researched with dentists and crafted a taste that is loved by our brushers, as you can see on this slide. And so let me introduce you to the world first, all natural and zero waste dental gel. That is a subscription for just £4.5 a month. With Noice, we actually create a world where having a positive impact is as easy as brushing our teeth. And everyone is brushing his teeth, right? It's actually the most used personal care product daily. So the market is huge, as you can see, and the demand for natural, organic, and zero waste or recyclable packaging is rising very quickly in the UK and worldwide. So full disclosure, I'm French, as you can hear it for sure, but the company and myself are based in the UK. So of course it's a complex market that is crowded, we are aware, but the current actors are missing. The current pure players, they claim about naturality with no real backup on that. So they're missing on customer trust. There is a premium brand that look nice, no worries about that, but a tube can cost up to £14 per month. So that's a huge amount, right? We have the lab brands with a very kind of cool and apothecary style, very confidential and not very accessible. And we have the zero waste heroes that I personally admire when coming to toothpaste. They do tubs, they do powder, but they're just missing on the customer experience. And Noice has it all because we bring trust with all natural and organic active ingredients and formulated with dentists and oral care professionals. We bring the best experience with a very fresh and botanical taste that you're gonna actually like. And we bring accessibility to the market with a subscription model that is affordable at £4.5 per month and easy to get because they leave it right at your doorstep, right? And we are the best team to bring Noice to the market, actually. So myself, Morgane, strong of 5 years in advertising and luxury, working for the biggest brands out there, from L'Oreal to LVMH brands, now dedicated to make Noice the oral care sustainable brand reference. And working on this with my co-founders that funded on their sales a studio, Invinci studio, a startup studio, helping on innovations, marketing, recruitment, and finance. And the team is growing with an advisor, Adam, but also head of e-commerce, head of operation manager and community managers across the 2 countries that we have activities in, the UK and the US. And so to bring Noice to the market, we have 2 channels. So let me talk about business model very quickly. The first one is direct to consumer approach. It's a subscription model, super easy. You go online, noice.co.uk, order your first bottle of toothpaste, and then we send you refills every 4 months automatically at your doorstep. Of course, you can cancel, swap, or skip at no cost anytime. So to get our market fit validation, we did a Kickstarter campaign back in 2020. That was a huge success, raising 30K US and more than 700 pre-orders in only 2 months. And since then, we launched onto the UK and the US as a market online. That was beginning 2021, and we are seeing great traction, better than some words. Let's have a look to the weekly sales in the UK as a focus. Since August, that has been raising, as well as the CAC, our cost of acquisition, that has been lowering quickly. The second model that we are focusing on is to capitalize on the B2B opportunities. And this is with partnerships with e-retailers and distributors, but also addressing the raising market of the refill and bulk shops across the globe. So Noice is already sold at 10 locations worldwide. We are in the top 5 selling products on Loop US platform, also sold on Ulta Zero Waste program, and this is growing. We focus on 2 countries, the UK and the US, and our goal is to establish Noice as the sustainable oral care brand reference, and we are doing so by building and leveraging on our community, actually. So it goes through awareness with PR content and video content that just stick in your mind. My co-founder got naked in the first video. I put on a mermaid costume on the latest one, so I'd let you have a look at that. Activation, working with influencers to create educational content. Conversion driving by performance marketing, obviously, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube as platforms, just to call some of them. The retention with the model, which is the subscription, but also our product that is loved by our brushers, and closing the loop, obviously, with a referral program. And yeah, one of our value at Noice is thinking outside of the tube. So today we established Noice as the sustainable oral care reference. Tomorrow, one step further into zero waste, working and developing right now 100% compostable refills for our toothpaste. And so today we are actually crowdfunding right now on Crowdcube to raise £300,000. This is to scale up to 10K for subscribers and execute our marketing plan, as well as invest in R&D. Great news, we launched this Crowdcube crowdfunding campaign 2 weeks ago and got already 75% funded, so almost to our target objectives. So this is it. Thank you so much for having me again and join us on our mission to clean up the planet and all the teeth in it, and have a look to our campaign scanning these little codes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Morgane. That's really great. I would like to ask Leonor to start.
Yeah, thank you very much, Morgane. So my answer to your first question is that I have no idea what is on my toothpaste, and I would love to know it. I pay a lot of attention to like hair, skincare, and I was beginning to think about also my toothpaste. So thank you. I don't know when you will be available in Spain, but I will wait you here. I would have liked to see on your slides like more pictures about your product, because I still don't know what do you exactly deliver and how do you deliver it, and yeah, like the refills and how does it look like. And also another thing, you mentioned that you're bringing the like right customer experience that other brands that are up and coming are not giving. So I would like to know exactly why you think so.
Sure. I'm gonna start with the second and then the first one. Thank you so much, Leonor, for your questions. Today, in the markets, when it comes to the competitions, there are great brands and great toothpaste, and there is for any taste. There is a lot of naturals toothpaste available out there, but usually they come in a non-recyclable plastic tube. Then there is the zero waste toothpaste brands available onto the market, but they don't come into a paste or a gel format. They are either solid toothpaste, they could be powder, or a paste where you have to dip your toothbrush in. Sorry about that. So today we are the only natural plus zero waste, and that's why we call it dental gel, actually, onto the market, UK and US so far. And more product visuals, you're totally right. It's something that we need to improve into the pitch. So just me pull out very quickly the website. So you have a vision about how it works and what do we deliver. I usually do a kind of téléachat and show it, but I don't have samples with me just today. When you are on the website, you get this first bottle that comes with a pump. This one is glass, but the pump is obviously plastic, right? This is enough toothpaste for 6 to 8 weeks. It could last even longer depending on how you like your toothbrush to be loaded with toothpaste, in a way, if I can say. And then we send you refills back like this. So it's in FSC cardboard, obviously fully recyclable. And the refills, they are the same glass bottle, but coming with a metal screw cap on the top. So when your first bottle is finished, you simply open a refilled bottle, swap the pump, and keep it. So you receive one single pump that you're gonna use your entire life, basically. And the empty bottles, you can screw it back with the metal cap and put that to recycling. We are also building and working today on a closed loop system with our B2B partners, where people can deposit back the bottles into a partner shop. So we aim to be reusing most of the bottles as much as we can. In the meantime, working on the compostable refills.
Okay,
we choose glass. Yeah, sorry.
Like, what about like if consumers keep the bottles and then as soon as they get their box, send it back to you? Have you thought about that?
Yeah, of course. It's not financially viable now to work on the reverse logistic. Logistic is very costly, I'm sure, as you know. So for now, we are more, and we think that it will be also more virtuous to work with our B2B partners to create together, because they will be able to hold more. So from a sustainability point of view, there will be less shipments linked to that. So yeah, that would be the answer.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Leonor. Hélène, would you like to continue?
Sure. So I applaud your effort again. I think it's an area where you're right. The toothpaste product are really not recyclable. One question that I had, right? I agree with you that there's a lot of chemical, like fluor has been used for years. There's a lot of negative effect in fluor, right? So you're looking at more natural solution. Is your composition unique? And what's the science behind the ingredient? Is it something that has received a lot of research? Like, for example, you now work in a microbiome. So now you have microbiome for the gut, you have microbiome for the skin. They're starting to look at adding prebiotic to toothpaste, right? I'm sure you've seen this movement. Do you put anything from an IP and science that's interesting in your ingredient?
Thank you very much, Hélène. Very, very good question. As much as, so IP-wise, the formula is owned by Noice, obviously. The research was done and more leveraging on existing science than more futuristic kind of science. And we are leveraging basically the centuries recognized benefits of essential oils. And that's the main composition of Noice. We really worked on replacing each active, I'm really insisting on active ingredients of conventional toothpaste by a natural alternative. I could enter into the details of the formulation, but your questions was more toward IP itself. So yeah, more based on centuries and benefits proven of essential oils and building up on that to this mix. It's also a question of taste. In addition of ingredients, one of my co-founders used to be in the wine industry, very French of him, but he has a very strong palate, really, really strong. That's also a part of the formula that took a while to be crafted, was the taste, to be sure that you actually like it. That makes it unique also in a way. So of course it's replicable, but it's going to be hard. And then if replicate, then there is the brand that carries the product and the message, of course.
Yeah, so you may, I think I would advise you to look at the recent research that's happening. It's all nature-based, but we're entering, essential oils come from herbalism, right? That's something that we've known for centuries. But what's interesting with science now is the extraction methodology is much more advanced in biotechnology than it was used to be. So there is a new type of ingredients, and I would think to have further differentiation in your product, if you already have focused in an area, like polyphenol in wine, right? For example. So I'm sure your co-founder knows about this, right? There's a lot of huge health values that we're starting to discover. There is additional ingredient that we researched in, like the dental industry that are starting to be very promising because the concentration is much higher than traditional natural approach. And when you want to differentiate the product that really works, that's something that's key, right? If your consumer tried a few times and if you really see a difference, that's how you're going to be retaining it versus other natural product or the competition. So I think that's the only thing I would probably like. I love what you do. I think you've figured out a lot of things already, but I would probably focus a little more on the science and IP to take advantage of all these new innovations that are existing today.
100%. Thank you very much for the tips.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Hélène. Yeah, Eli?
Yes, so first of all, compliments, because you're selling and you have some numbers to show, and you did some campaign and another campaign and they went well. But I think the reality of charcoal-based toothpaste is very, very difficult, because first of all, you have 169 million competitors, which are Kendall Jenner's followers. And I'm sure she has a brand of toothpaste that's called Moon, which is charcoal-based toothpaste, and she has followers and she has enormous strength behind her because she's an important influencer, and the numbers are amazing. And then you have the Himalaya brands and other brands. What Hélène said, scientific-wise, I think is important, because also the American Dental Association and the British Dental Council, they don't really recommend the charcoal-based toothpaste because they say maybe the charcoal takes too much off your teeth, of the what is called animal layer, and then in your toothpaste you don't use floral, which floral maybe it's good or not good, but that's its job, to protect your tooth and not, over time, if you use too much the charcoal toothpaste, probably, I'm saying probably because, it's still a new issue, but nobody really recommends it now, but it is a hype. So at the moment you are followers, I think you will have a problem because you do have numbers and you are selling, but you will find yourself spending a lot of money on growth, a lot of money on either influencers or marketing in order to stay in the game, because you do have the hype of a young company, that's new in the game, your followers and campaigns and everything, but it won't be easy to stay in the game. The last remark maybe I have is I think you need better branding. Personally, I just don't like the design. I'm a designer. The design doesn't show me anything about clean, sustainability. The toothpaste itself is strange because it's black, but that's charcoal toothpaste. What can you do? I think the bottle I don't think it's right, because the juicer, what was the name? There was a campaign for a juicer that they sold for $700 a few years back, designed by a very famous designer. And then a YouTuber uploaded that they send you the bag, but then he said if you just squeeze the bag, so the juice comes out and you don't need this $700 juicer that you put inside the bag. So it's kind of reminding me, because your bottle, you send me the small bag to refill it. But if I would really want to be sustainable, I would just use the small bag. Right now, your bottle is glass and it has the black plastic cap and the plastic suction. So I think you need to, if you're really sustainable and you believe in it, go with it. That will be a new thing. Also, the packaging, the brown paper packaging, we already saw it in 3 products just today in this presentation. So if you believe in the product and you're a new player, young people, you seem very bright and you have already sales, so you can use it, but you need just to have a strong brand. Your competition is enormous. That's it for me. Sorry if it's a little bit harsh, but I just know a little bit about the subject. So
thank you very much, Eli, for your feedback. I'm taking notes. If you allow me just 5 minutes, the idea is not to counter anything, just to pick up on some points, but charcoal, controversial point of view. There is a scale of abrasivity to check how abrasive or not abrasive your charcoal toothpaste is, that follows both US and British recommendations. Our ARDS score is perfect, meaning that the charcoal thin grade is enough to capture the stains, but not too wide to damage the enamel. Just elements that we checked and looked at. Our dentist and the dentist that we worked with do recommend charcoal in thin grade. Fluoride, same, very hard topic. We are not advocating pro or against. We just based our formula on licorice roots that are studies proven that they have the same efficacy as fluoride, fighting the bacteria responsible for cavities. So science backing is over there. Branding wise, noted, thank you so much. It means a lot to have a professional feedback. The choice of the bottle designs was more inspired from Aesop. I don't know if you're aware about this brand, but the idea is the bottle is something that you'll keep kind of your entire life, to have a minimalistic design that would fit in anyone's bathroom. Then on our social medias, websites and so on, colorful, optimistic and so on. But duly noted on your comments, and 100% is gonna integrate some. Thank you so much, Eli, for your feedback and time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So Renee, she had to leave about 10 minutes ago, but she would be happy to follow up with you separately. So we are approaching this is the end of the event. So I think it was really great event. I'm really happy about all these great presentations, and I'm really happy that the board members that you could join. So I would like to thank you once again for your time. And so I would encourage you to connect with each other on LinkedIn, and I will be sharing the contact details of all the attendees as well as the pitch decks after the call. And so would you like say a few more last words, Eli? You like the event?
First of all, I think all the presentations are really interested, and I'm following this trend of sustainability and small businesses and DIY, and I think it's great. I can share you a small fast story, because a neighbor of mine, his wife was starting to lose hair, and he's an engineer. And as you know, by himself, he found a few ingredients, and he found something that really helped her. And he now manufactures it. Nobody published it and nobody talked about it, but now he's making like already 200 bottles a month, and he's selling it just like to neighbors from word to mouth. So this thing is increasing, and it's incredible. And I think it's the way to go, because there's a place for a small brand, but there's a place for value and people who trust, and small brands will reach me personally. So thank you very much for the invitation. I had an interesting time.
Thank you so much. Hopefully next time again. Leonor, did you like the event?
Yeah, I loved it. Thank you very much for organizing it, Mathilde. I think that the selection of startups was great, super nice. I really enjoyed it. I usually do, but this one was quite cool. Congratulations to the startups, but especially congratulations, Mathilde, for organizing always such good events. I invite everyone to follow them. Thank you so much. It was really, really nice. So yeah, great. So I hope to see you all again in future events. So also the recording will be available on YouTube. So you can still see it later on or forward it to other people in your networks. So thank you all again for coming tonight, and wish you a good night and see you soon. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Have a good evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.